Happy Ramadan to all of you, and today I'm going to be sharing with you this wonderful katayef recipe. If you do try it, comment down below and let me know how it turns out. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you.
I will start with 1 cup of smeed or farina, 2 tablespoons of milk powder, 1, that's 2, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 3 tablespoons of sugar. This is raw sugar. 1, that's 2, and 3. 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, and 2 cups of flour. That's 1, that's 2. Any of my wet ingredients, I like to cover this, and I like to give it a good shake. Just shake it around. After we gave it a good shake, we're going to go ahead and add the water. And here's 1 cup, 2, 3, a half, and 1 teaspoon of rosewater. And blend. After about 1 minute in the blender, this is the consistency that I have. So I'm going to cover this, put the lid back on, and let it sit for a half hour before using it. My stuffing while waiting for my mixture to come together. I have here 2 cups of walnuts and a 1 cup of coconut, and I'm going to be adding 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 3 tablespoons of sugar. This is my full mixture. I'll go ahead and blend it together. Something like this. My second stuffing is going to be dates, and it's ajwa. I've microwaved it for 30 seconds in the microwave just so it can melt. And now I'm going to be adding my spices. I have 1 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder. Mix that together. Before putting your qataif on, you want to make sure that your griddle or frying pan or whatever that you're using is all even temperature. You don't want to put it on as soon as you turn on the heat. You want to give it even temperature. So I have my stove griddle here on medium temperature, and I'm going to start by pouring in my qataifs. I'm using a 1/4 cup for dropping them in, so I'm going to go ahead and put that down. And another one right here. Give it about 30 seconds to a minute. As soon as you see all the bubbles come up and the color looks good on the bottom, which I'll show you in just a second. While this is finishing up, make sure you have a towel or something on the side. I like to use a towel and fold it and put them right in the middle so that they're not drying out while we finish the rest of the batter. Again, they are coming out beautiful. as soon as this top here is not wet and looks like this side, we can go ahead and remove that one. This one is almost done. We just need to wait on the side over here. Okay, this one here is almost done. And this one's done. 3 seconds later, and this one is done too. If you can see that. And cover them so that you could add them and cover them each time until you're fully finished. Just to show you guys the bottom. Here. And this one as well. So all my katayef, I folded my towel so I could put some on the bottom, as you can see, and some on the top because you don't want this to dry. So here it is, nice and fresh out. You can see how soft and beautiful this is. It's bendable. It looks great, and it's ready to be stuffed. To stuff them is really simple. You take your katayef and have my stuffing mix over here, and you put your desired amount, about 2 teaspoons. Fold it, and it clicks right together. Or about 1.5 teaspoons. Let's take some out. And that's one done. Nice, soft, and this is a really good mixture for katayef. I hope you guys try it, and if you do, let me know how it turns out. Let me show you one more. Try to get close to the camera. Put 1.5 teaspoons, and we're just gonna see that? And that's it. Let's go. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing. So I just take one out from under the towel and put the dates inside. You might have to microwave them another time just to make sure that they'll actually be easier to use. And you're going to go ahead and close it up. And there you have it. The katayef I made, the side is dates and walnuts. I'm going to cover them because I'm fasting. I'm not going to do them just yet. There's still another 2 hours. So I'm going to cover them before baking and cooking them. So in all, I made a total of 21 pieces. And yes, I have some extra stuffing, which you could store and use at a later time for ma'moul or anything else that you have going, or even more katayef. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and cover them, and I'll be back to cook them with you guys later. And in the meantime, I'm actually going to make my kather because it has to be cold when you make it. So I'm going to make my kather and have that nice and cool. For when these are done, they'll be dumped right in.
And one thing you want to make sure of is to get cold kather. So I'm going to make mine now since there's still plenty of time. I have 2 cups of sugar and 1 cup of water. As you see, I use just a regular drinking glass for the water, and a squeeze of lemon. You don't need that much. You don't want it to be sour, just like a small amount. And you're also going to need 1 capful of rosewater. As you can see, mine is almost at a boiling point, and once it reaches the boiling point, I'm going to let that boil for about 2 to 3 minutes, not long, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and let it cool on the side. I've already greased my pan here. It's nice and greased on the bottom. You can't tell on the camera because it's melted. And I'm placing my katayef all in the tray, lining them nicely. And once I get them lined up, I'm going to add a dollop of ghee butter on top, samna. And here they are out the oven after 9 minutes. 400 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and flip them. And I'm also going to add a dollop of ghee butter on top, or semna. And you could just rub that over. It's nice and melted. And it's going back in the oven for an additional 9 minutes. So that's a total of 18 minutes. I think that's the best time to cook them for. You could leave them for a little bit additional if you want to get them a little bit more crunchy, but I think that was just perfect. And I'll show you what they look like in just a second. You can tell how nice they look here. They're just beautiful. And they go back in the oven. And here they are out the oven. So this is a total of 18 minutes, like I said earlier. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the side. And now we're going to go ahead and dump them in our katayef. Remember, the katayef is nice and cold. It's not been placed in the fridge. It's just room temperature. It sat out for about 2.5 hours. And I'm going to go ahead and place them in one by one. And you want to give it a flip. And I'm not going to leave them there for long, just until, a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. You don't need to leave them there for that long. You can see how nice they look here. And make sure you have a bowl or a dish on the side or something. And since we didn't fry these, I'm just taking them out right away. If you fried them, you'd probably want to take the oil off before you put the katayef. But since we didn't do that and we baked them, they barely have any oil on them, so I put them straight into the katayef. And I think baking is much healthier to eat rather than frying. I know ghee butter is not all that healthy, but it's still much healthier than frying. That's just my opinion. And the taste is so much better. And I'm going to go ahead and take them off this plate and put them onto my serving plate. And that is pretty much it, guys. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you try it again, let me know how they turn out. This is a wonderful recipe. I've done it many times and it was successful every time. So again, if you try it, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. And happy Ramadan to all of you.